Hey everyone, it's Adam here again with a behind the scenes look at the making of my comic Island of the Lost. Today I wanted to run through scripting and what a script could look like. It doesn't have to look like this, but what my personal script looks like, I guess, or how I approach scripting. Um, on that note, like one thing that I've noticed is that comic book writers just don't use the same scripting or like the same way of doing it. I mean, there's not really a set way. I come from a screenplay writing background from movies and things, and there is a very strict set way that you're expected to do it if if you think that you're actually going to be able to like pitch your movie to, Hollywood basically. But if you're just writing a short film for yourself, it really doesn't matter. But there are things that the industry is kind of like that. They just want things to be the same, uniform, which makes sense. So that even if you did write a short film and you sent it to a director, he would know how to read the script basically. So in comic books, it's not really like that from what I've seen. But this is kind of the approach that I take, that I think has been most helpful to do it. And it's really not that much different from the way I write screenplays. There are differences, but the general idea is the same. The general way to do it is the same. So first off, what I'm using here is a program called Highland 2. This is a free scripting program that you can download off the internet. It's totally free. And again, it's marketed towards screenplays, but it does have, as you can see over here, this sort of graphic novel template. I don't know if the template really does anything, like switching to it. I'm not sure if that's really that important. You could just do the screenplay one. I could be wrong about that, but I did. But I don't feel like it's really done too much different. Maybe this panel on the left side here, maybe that's not here in the screenplays. But either way, go ahead and select it. And then it'll give you kind of like a little sample. It's small here, but once you click on it, you can see, it'll just give you an idea. See, they got screenplay here, stage play, manuscript, that sort of thing. Just give you an idea of how to use it. And also there's settings in here. I can't remember exactly where it is, but there's some sort of spot in here that tells you all the shortcuts. And that is going to be super, super helpful. So if I can't find it here, you'll just have to find it on your own. But basically, it'll tell you all the shortcuts. And the idea with these programs and why I use it is that it will basically format everything for you as long as you're using the right shortcuts, the right prompts. And that is super, super helpful because when you're writing, you just want to write and get all the information out. You don't want to be worried about spacing. I don't want to space it or do tabs to get my dialogue in the middle of the page. Like, I don't want to do that. It's too much. It's too tedious and it's frustrating. You don't want to do that. Do not go into Word and start trying to space out and tab out your script or a screenplay for that matter either. Same thing. This will do it for you. All you gotta do is know the shortcuts. So again, find those shortcuts in here. What I did was I copied them here. This is a little notes section. So I have here a cheat sheet. Here we go. I put the cheat sheet is under help menu. I even put it right there. So help, cheat sheet. These are all of the shortcuts and even the ones specific to the graphic novel template. So read through those. Some of them you're not going to use, but a lot of them that you are. And these are kind of I just copy and pasted all the ones that I use commonly here. And then it just again just some information. I think I just copy and pasted exactly what was in their little cheat sheet. So I have that here. I'm not going to go through everything, but in general, it's pretty straightforward. And even when you tab over, or if you do everything, like if you're typing something that's all caps, it'll know that it's a certain thing, right? So it's just kind of how it works. so in general, here's an example. Like I have this at the top. This is my title. I put just, the little, I don't even know what you call these symbols, the greater than or less than symbols, right? On the left or right side. So if you click this button here, this is a preview. You'll see, okay, well it centers it right here. So then this is kind of the preview of my whole script here. So that's how you do that. That's the shortcut for that. And then with this, the main thing and the main difference between screenplays and comics is really kind of the page count and the panel count, right? So just keeping it organized and knowing, oh, I'm on what page you're on and what panel you're on is very important. You can't just, like, if you just wrote this out just like and didn't even pay attention to that, you wouldn't know what you were getting at the end. And if you sent this to an artist, it would be hard for them to figure out. So this is a shortcut for a page. So it's just the number symbol, page, and then whatever number it is. And you'll see here on the left, it'll even break it down, and I can see all my pages, and I can even like click on them and go to them quickly. And then the panel is just period, panel, whatever panel number it is. And again, like this is really helpful on the left side to just see how everything is laid out. So that's what I'll do first. And then, right here, so this is just the description. So like the first thing I have is the description of what that panel looks like. So in this one, its entire panel is black. I all caps this because it's kind of just taking something from screenplays. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. But this is just kind of like, just like saying it's something. It's not really anything that's happening in the image. It's just a black panel. So I all caps it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do that. Panel 2. So okay, and then also, so right here I have Marcus, and this is dialogue. So this is pick up, pick up, pick up. So what I have this symbol here is O.S, so that means off screen. Again, that's a screenplay thing, but I feel like it's relevant to comics as well. So that means basically there's not going to be a thought bubble. It's off screen. There's not going to anything. It's just a black page that we're on. So, but there's still going to be some sort of. It's not going to be a bubble, but it'll be a square or a rectangle or whatever. So that's just indication to really, again, to the artist, so they know that this is just off screen. And then, so I go down to the next one, panel 2, a cordless house phone rings. So this, again, the descriptions here are just very, very basic, what is happening. I put rings in all capital because, again, I'm just indicating to myself, I'm probably going to put a sound effect there. If you want to put the sound effect there, go ahead. For me, I haven't done sound effects that much, so I'm still like figuring out like, oh, how do I like to approach sound effects, or like what sound effects do I want to use, right? So I don't really know that. So now I'm just indicating, hey, I want a sound effect there on that page, but I don't know, ringing is a little more obvious, but heck, you can do any sort of sound effect for a ring. So I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I'm just indicating that's going to be a sound effect with all caps there. That's just kind of my thing. Panel 3, Jesse, 15, girl, blonde. This is just basic descriptor here, nothing crazy. Like what I'm thinking is that I will send my outline to the artist with more fleshed out physical descriptions. This is just a basic sort of thing here. And so again, this is coming from screenplays. You don't have to do this at all. But when the first time you see a character in a script, you're supposed to all capitalize the whole name. So that's why that's all capitalized. And then if you'll see once she comes back later, anywhere in here, it won't be all capitalized. So do that if you want, ignore that. It really doesn't matter. So Jesse picks up the phone, and then we have dialogue again. So Jesse, hello. So let me show you quick how the dialogue works. So basically here, this is an easy one. Jesse, hello. So if I wrote this descriptor out and then I'm done, okay, I say I want dialogue. So all I'll do is hit enter, and I'm gonna space again just to put some space in between my dialogue and my descriptor. I like to have one space in between kind of every element, right? And then if I type in Jesse all capital this time and then hit enter, it's gonna bring me down under, And then if I start typing, what was it? Hello? I don't even remember. Hello? And then see that it will know that this is supposed to be dialogue because it's all capital, and we'll push it over to the middle of the page, and bam, I'm writing, I'm in my dialogue now. So that's how that works with the shortcut. It's not even a shortcut. It's just knowing that you need to do all capitals when you're starting to write dialogue. So you got the name of the person saying it, maybe in OS or something over here. The other symbol or the other abbreviation I use is VO for voiceover. Again, it's kind of similar to off screen, but to me, voiceover is more narration, right? Narrating to the audience. Off screen is like if I'm looking at one person reacting and then another person is talking to them, but I'm not seeing them in the panel, that's off screen. That's the difference between off screen and like VO. So that's that. Yeah, again, we'll just keep going. Panel 4, Marcus. 40, brown hair, glasses, slender build. Again, I have more detail in my outline on physical appearance and things like that. That's just a general thing there. Pulls the phone slightly away from his ear and tilts his head back and closes his eyes in anguish. Again, this does not have to be pretty. This does not have to be novel level writing. It's just get the information out, what is happening in the scene. That's it. That's all that's important. So this panel just has visuals. There's no dialogue there. I'm going to come down a little bit more. So how I'm treating dialogue where there's like one person saying multiple things, basically each time I have a thought bubble, a different thought bubble, I'm going to make a new set of dialogue. So Jesse is saying 2 things here, and each one of these is going to be in a different thought bubble. In my head, that's how it's going to be laid out. The artist might tell me, hey, no, this just makes more sense to put in one and whatever, that's fine. But I'm kind of doing this because I do like, it's just indicating a little bit of a pause between the thoughts. So, the Marcus asked, Jesse, it's Dad, I need to speak with your mother. Jesse says, she's not here. She's playing cards with her friends. Pause. Is everything okay, Dad? So putting a new thought bubble is just a way for me to put a little bit of a pause in what she's saying and dividing those 2 thoughts. But that's how that would look, or at least that's how I approach that. Same here, Marcus is having 2 thoughts here. If it's dialogue where 2 different people are talking right here, or it's the same thing, but this is his Hikaru's dialogue, and then this is Marcus's dialogue. So it's still on the same panel. So I'm indicating there's going to be 2 thought bubbles, but they're going to be coming from 2 different people. So that's how that looks. Let me see if there's anything else. So the other thing that I do, see, here's an example. That you don't have to do. Again, this is really a screenplay thing that I'm taking it from. You don't have to do it. I think there is some value to it, but if you don't do it, you just have to be more descriptive in your description. So what I'm doing here is basically it's a location identifier. Again, coming from screenplays, you might have seen this before, but like exterior or interior, so EXT or INT, period. This one is high school, and then dash day. So, and then this needs to be all capital. And then if you do this all capital, it will know that it's what it is. So let me rewrite it and we'll see what happens. So if I do EXT period high school, day, and then enter, it knows that that's just indicating that's the location identifier. So what will happen, you kind of saw, if I did EXT period, what it does is it brings up, and I don't have that many on this page, but if I had other exterior ones, see I do have a few here, it'll bring it up, and then it will allow me just to go click on one if this is one I've already used before, right? So it kind of saves all your location identifiers, and you can reuse those. So that's kind of cool. Let me undo this, make sure I'm not messing this up. So doing this, again, is not necessary, but I do think it's important for the artist to know if it's what time of day it is, day, night, evening, dusk, whatever. That is important. So that's kind of my main, and then exterior, right? If just understanding that you're outside, not inside the high school. if you don't use these identifiers, that's fine. You just have to be more descriptive in your panel. So here you would say, well, here it already says Jessie stands in front of her school, so it's outside, in her basketball uniform with the sports bag around her shoulder. It's the middle of the day. You can just say it's daytime, like whatever it is. Just you do. It is helpful to indicate to your artist what time of day it is, right? So that's really what that is. So sometimes I'll just kind of put these at the beginning of a scene. I'm not putting these at the beginning of every panel. I'm not putting these at the beginning of every page. I'm just putting these when the scene switches. So all of these panels are still in that scene, and then now we're switching to interior bar day. So that's why I'm putting that one. So that's an example of that. Don't have to do that, but sometimes it's kind of nice. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's kind of the gist of how this goes. So really, you're just going through all your pages. And okay, here's one thing. So numbering the panels. This is something when I first started, I actually did this a different way, and it was stupid, and there was no reason to do it that way. But long story short, you should number the panels just for that page. You shouldn't number panel 1 through 80 at the end of the issue, right? You shouldn't just keep adding up through the pages, because it really doesn't tell you much. But being able to see, as you can see on the side, at a quick glance, how many panels are in each page is really helpful, and should be helpful for the artist too. Just understanding, like, yeah, exactly. Like, this is a 12 page, and then, okay, we kind of slowed it down for 4, right? That's really the idea behind numbering those panels, because you could just put whatever, you could just put panel on there, but it's nice to have a visual cue of, okay, well, there's 6 panels on this page, so I know, kind of have an idea of what that's going to be. My page 6 here is a splash, so I just put page 6. Actually, you know what? I did this. I should not have done it this way. I should do panel. Sorry, I got my all caps on. I don't need all caps on. Panel 1, and then that's where I should put splash. Again, it doesn't really matter, but if I'm following my format, then that's what that will look like. This is panel 1, splash. So it's the only panel on the page. So yeah, so that's kind of how that works. I think that's pretty much it here. So, like, again, the key I would say is get this program. Get some sort of writing program that's going to format for you, so you don't have to worry about it, and it doesn't have to slow you down. You can just write, right? That's important. All these shortcuts are helpful, and you want to learn those. But really, overall, all this has to do is be readable and understandable for an artist or somebody you're pitching to, or whatever it is. It just has to be understandable. So as long as it's understandable for everybody to read, then that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be any certain way. It just has to be understandable. So that's kind of my tips and kind of my approach on storyboarding. So hopefully, not storyboarding, on scripting. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you on the next one.